Should I continue to make longer videos than 3 minutes? I think it's very hard to justify, mostly because in 40 minutes I could make many shorter videos. Now, to a certain extent, this is also caused by me picking the following metric. I optimize for video count as well as views. Now, if instead I would opt for subscribers, for example, maybe longer videos would be better, but probably also not, because shorter videos can be watched in a shorter amount of time. If I talk about two things, then the interest of the audience has to overlap in between those two things. So if I talk about one thing and about another thing, then the audience that is targeted by me talking about two things simultaneously is basically only the mathematical overlap of these two sums, or rather sets. Now, of course, one cannot infinitely split something. I cannot just say one word because that's not interesting. The question is therefore, where is the optimum? What I also realized is that time is finite. Initially, I had a little bit of a higher standard. I wanted to be as neutral as possible, but also to include, therefore, all of these different things that connected to this topic. Now, I think also maybe because the shorts recording has taught me differently, I accepted more that I use higher compression language, but maybe also pack more information into what I'm saying by using a higher compression, but maybe also by thinking a little bit in between. So at a given computation rate of my brain, if I, at least in the short term, maybe in the long term, I would drive different optimizations. If, for example, I would not stop in between those takes, maybe I would teach myself a little bit more to speak more freely, which I initially tried. But I think in the short term, it always makes sense to, at a given computational output, to therefore compress the whole thing. Maybe also by pausing in between. What pausing in between also allows me is risk reduction. So I talk, and then I make a mistake. If now I make a mistake, I have to ditch every previous talking point. If instead I record with the Shorts app, I make a point and it's safe. I make a point and it's safe. I make a point and I make a mistake, and I can just redo the take. So basically I'm building. And if I make a mistake, I just delete and I can redo the whole thing. Or not the whole thing, because I don't need to redo the whole thing. I just redo the take. So it reduces, I think, the time cost per at least a video that I want to make. Or let's say thing that I want to say. And it also increases the average video quality. Therefore, I think at least.